So now you found your factory, whether direct by yourself or maybe your sourcing company agent has helped you find a couple of factories where you've narrowed down so that you want to go ahead and ask them to help you create some samples. And in this part, we recommend that you should find at least two to three factories and not just one for samples. And of course, I understand that, it really also depends on your budget. Hopefully you found some factories that are willing to give you a low cost or free sampling. Sample prices vary, and a lot of times they are able to deduct it from your order if you do place an order with them. But if your budget allows, then I strongly recommend to find more than one factory so you have a comparison of your actual physical product. But now it gets to the exciting part. Previously, it was all on paper. Now you're actually looking or you're going to see your physical product in front of you. Hi, this is Ivan. And if you're a first time footwear founder or you're thinking about starting your own footwear brand, then please like and subscribe. I talk a lot about different experiences with factories. We have our own footwear brand as well as our own supply chain business for footwear, which is a family business. We've been doing it for decades, and I like to share experience with you guys. Also, drop a comment below if there's anything you want me to talk about or you have questions. I'll respond to comments. Thank you. So you're talking to the factories about potential samples. So hopefully you've got that tech pack. There could be some back and forth, and you're talking about to them what it should look like. Hopefully they send you photos ahead of actually sending you the physical product, and photos, everything look great, and they send it to you. You receive the samples. So now what do you do? One thing I think you need to keep in mind that the sample itself is a prototype. It's the product that you're looking at to see if what you had in your mind, your concept, actually is feasible. So is it within the actual budget that you're looking at? So let's say, originally in your business model that you hopefully have thought of, you're selling this product. Let's say you're going to sell it for $60. Then, does the production price fit that? Is it too expensive or is it actually cheaper? If it's cheaper, then why? These are things that you need to ask when you look at the shoe, because until you have the physical product in your hand, you don't really know the look and feel. What does it actually look like? Did the factory actually produce it to your specifications, or did it come out the way that you intended it to? And one thing you also have to keep in mind is you should have had that come in a size that you can try, or someone that you had in mind that is the target audience can try and give you feedback on, right? So if you also are in the target audience that you originally thought of for the shoe, then great, have it in your size. So when it comes, you try the different samples and you see, hey, how does it fit work? Does it comfortable? Does it look the way that you want it to? And going back, it's a iterative process. So a potentially high potential, the first sample may not be exactly what you want. That's normal. Right? And going back, it's a data point, right? You want to look at the sample and you want to record down what are the differences, or even though maybe the factory has made the sample exactly to what you want, but having the physical product in front of you, maybe there's still things that you want to change. Totally fine. So you want to keep record of it, right? You want to take pictures. You want to highlight in the pictures what are the changes, what's different, or maybe something that is perfect in terms of the tech pack and what they've created, but you still want it to change. Then you want that all in writing and also with photos, so it's very clear. You have a documentation process where you provide it to the factory and you have records, so that when the second sample comes, they make changes, the third sample, and so on and so forth. Everything is documented, so you know what's changed. While I feel that, of course, using chat apps like WhatsApp or others will feel the most easy when communicating with the factory, but a lot can get lost in conversation. I still highly recommend using email so that it's organized by subject, and you have clear email chain in terms of the timing and everything, and you can always go back. It's much easier to search. So do you have that paper trail that you understand, okay, these are the requests, recommendations on the samples, and the changes that you've requested. So going back, that you receive the samples, and if it's in your size and you are the target audience, you try it, you see, the feel, the look, is it right? But you also want to place it, you might want to print out the tech pack or whatnot, look at it and compare. Does it look the same? If you're as specific as you also have weight, the weight of the product and everything, is it the same as what you have? The design, you want to compare it closely and see, what is it. And I'm not saying that if it's a little bit off, then it's totally unacceptable. I think that is something that you need to consider and figure out, because at the end of the day, the sample, even the final sample, which is the sample that's been confirmed and is supposedly the sample that you and the factory will use as a benchmark for production, it might not be 100% the same, but you're the one that you have to set with the factory. What is the quality assurance? What are the quality standards? What is something that, okay, you're okay with if it's not perfect, but there are also aspects that maybe you have to have that perfect. For example, the coloring, like the color of the shoe, because maybe that's the main concept, that the kind of look of it, you need it to be perfect. But let's just say the outsole, it's not as soft as you would like, but maybe to your shoe, to your concept, it's actually not that important, and things like that. Then that's something you have to figure out. The factory can't really figure it out for you. I think the factory, what they can figure out for you is if there's certain aspects that you want to decrease the total cost of the shoe. Maybe they can give you some suggestions. But at the same time, every decrease in cost of the shoe will potentially some way affect the overall look and feel and quality, right? It's relative. Everything is relative, because most likely they'll have to change some material, maybe use less of some material, and things like that. And at the end of the day, that is your decision. You have to be able to be okay with that. The factory can only suggest, or even the sourcing company can only suggest ways that they feel can help with that, but not make the product itself not wearable, but because they're not as familiar with your concept, your vision, your brand as you are. So whatever they say, you also need to be, critical of it and consider it, and maybe even ask some reasons, like, oh, why, if I did this, it could decrease by 20 cents. Like, what is the change, and how does that change affect the shoe? You should have that conversation with the factory, and or the sourcing company, right? You should be able to talk to them, and also figure out what is it that you want. Now, depending on the type of shoe that you're designing, is it like a functional shoe, running shoe, or a fashion shoe? You want to test it out, right? So if it's a running shoe, of course, then you need to go run with it for a week or longer. Test out, how does it feel after a week or so of wear and tear. What does it look like? Is it still okay, or things are already starting to fall apart? If it's a fashion shoe type, then what does it look like? You wear it, I mean, there should be also some durability even for a fashion shoe, for wear and tear. So wear it out, goes for a week or so. What does it look like? And ask people for opinions. There's various tests depending on what kind of shoe that you can do, and the factory does QC tests, and also, of course, if you found a third party to help you do QC tests, then they'll do it too. Most of those are for durability, making sure things don't fall off with just a ordinary wear and tear, to certain degrees. But you also should do it yourself, just from an ordinary everyday user point of view. Does it feel the way that it should when you run, or when you walk? How do you does the bend feel natural? Are your feet comfortable in it? These are all the different tests that you yourself should do, especially in the sample phase, right? Because that will be a product that will go into mass production and will go to your customers. So you need to make sure what's happening. And so if there are defects, or there feedback that you want to give the factory on certain aspects, you've tried on the shoes, and you have some feedback for the factory. What one thing that you have to be careful of is the feedback. You have it documented, but your feedback has to be specific. So you don't want to say things like, "Oh, this feels a bit weird," or "I don't like this." You need to be very specific in terms of the words that you're using. You need to be descriptive. You will need to let the factory know what is it with the shoe. What is that aspect that you feel is not there yet? Like, is it too hard, too soft? The color is off, or the touch, the feel of it, but what specifically is the issue? So this is something that sometimes we've seen a lot with founders that we need to discuss with them, or even get on a call, just hop on a call with them, figure out a time, and really look at the shoe and talk to them, almost like interview them, right? And if you, let's say you're not working with a sourcing company or whatnot, so you direct go to the factory and ask them, or you hop on a call with you if you need to, and go over it. But again, even though you go on a call, I highly still recommend that you should document everything and have that on paper, not just video call and then finish, because things can get lost in communication, or if especially if there's a lot of details, then they could forget, or someone could forget. If maybe you even forgot there are specific items that you asked for, but they didn't change in the next iteration of the sample, right? So whatever it is, but if you need to speak to them and really convey to them what is it that you're looking for, like what is wrong with it, what is making it feel weird, like what don't you like about it, right? And be as specific as you can, be as descriptive as you can, so they understand what are the issues, and they can propose solutions, or change the material, whatever it is that you. But if you're going to be vague, then they won't know what to do, or they can only guess what you want. And that's always a situation that you don't want to be in, because it will probably be bad for the next iteration of your product. Like, no one knows, is it right, is it not right, because we don't know what is the specific issue here. So again, be specific, as specific as you possibly can. And if you can't, then you need to think about it, right? You need to think of what is it that I specifically don't feel that is right. You have to kind of think about it yourself before just telling them. To summarize, going back, the sample, hopefully you're at this stage now that you're looking for talking to factories about getting you a sample, and in various aspects of setting that up. And so understanding that the sample is the first step. It's going to be an iterative process. Most likely the first sample is not kind of the perfect shoe, and they will be back and forth, but you need to document the process, have all the paperwork, so that nothing gets lost, and you have a foundation where what has happened. And when you get to that final sample, which is the sample that you sign off on, which is going to be used as a benchmark for production, you have the history, you have documentation, you know what has changed, so that it might not be the tech pack that you originally gave. There might be changes that you've made as well, because you feel, oh, the actual physical product is not what you thought, so you might have to change it. So whatever that is, you want to have that documentation, that paperwork, and use that. Those are all data points that you need to keep track of and know. And when you give feedback, you need to be very specific, because it's a physical product. And so if you can't be specific, the factory won't know what is the issue, what is it that they need to change, and that will hurt the whole process when everything is vague. So thank you very much, and please like, share, and subscribe, and leave any questions in the comments below, or if there's anything else you want me to talk about, then leave a comment below. Thank you.